provided a whole form based on the selected table. So in the code we created a function that extract the columns for a particular table, and also have a join to the key column usage, which we need to know if there is data provided by another table. For example, in the case when we have a city part of a street, we have the profile. We have the profile table. The profile table have street ID here, and street ID have some values, and also we have a relationship. Street ID itself have a relationship to the city. That's why we need also the city table to select a proper street related to the right city. So let's see that in action. This logic actually do the magic, and here, if there is a relationship of the field, actually we extract the columns again, but this time with the table name. Then we keep that drop-down fields and return the whole columns with their settings. So let's see that in action. We already provided the components template. Let's remove that for a while. Okay, so in our template, components template, in this till now we had only the text input fields. So now we're gonna have a check, and when there is such settings as refs in the field, we're gonna build a drop-down. Let's write here. This is the for each. So no, actually this is the component. So if I have a PHP check, if this is the single component, and if there is refs, and the refs of course are not empty, then we're gonna else, in other case, we will render the just a second. We can use short syntax. So in other case we render the input, but in case when we have the refs, we render the drop down. So how we render the drop down? We render the drop down through, and here we can include another template, but let's keep it that structure for now. So select name is equal to component, I think it's name, like that, and here we're gonna for each the refs, for each component refs as component refs. Let's not use ref because we use a ref here, but I think we will not have problem because we have a function with local variables, so we can use ref in the statement. Alright, so as ref, like that. And for each. And here we just render the option, which will be ref label e and value ref ID. We already have data provided. Okay, so let's see what is happening. And not perfect, but we can see some dropdowns appear in the profile table. So actually, what kind of field we have in the profile table? The profile table has user ID, name, street ID, and address. So that are five fields. The user ID is a relationship to the user table. So if you want to add the user ID, you can do it itself. You will need a reference to the user, and you should already have created user to create a profile of the user. And the user itself has the type field, which is a relationship to the user type. So that's why here we see first this user type dropdown, and then we have the country, and then the city, and then we have the street. So our logic, our extract columns logic, have provided dynamically all the dropdowns that are kind of related to that profile form. And that's make the thing easier because, for example, maybe the user is not the example with the user, it's not the best example. And here we can see that password have printed, which is not good. We should prevent that. But for example, with the city and the street, it's good because it's kind of validation to note that a city that doesn't exist in a street that doesn't exist in that city. So for example, once we provide a relationship between the country, the city, and the street, we'll be able to filter the result. When I choose USA, I will not able to see cities which are not part of the USA. So we're gonna do that in the next tutorial.